In our last class, we studied that characteristics of solids, liquids, and gases. Based on the different properties, based on different character, we will categorize the solid, liquid, as well as gas. But in this class, we will study about the next important concept, that is diffusion. Okay. Already we know about diffusion. Yes, in solid the diffusion is very negligible. In liquid there is a minimum diffusion, but in gas there is a maximum diffusion, because in a solid the interparticle space is very less, in a liquid minimum, but in a gas very maximum. Because of that maximum based on the interparticle space only, we will categorize either diffusion is more or less or minimum. Okay, then the next concept, that is diffusion. According to the diffusion, what do you mean by diffusion? The definition of diffusion is nothing but the spreading of one substance into the another substance by the movement of particle. Spreading of one substance into the another substance by the movement of particle, we can call it as a diffusion. For example, just take a water and anything to that. Okay, any color substance, take water and add some ink. Okay, when you add the ink, what happens? The ink will spread. Because of that spreading, what happens? What it indicates? It indicates the diffusion property. The diffusion is taking place in the liquid, not only in liquid, in gases. Let's take an example. Just take this container and above this container place one more container. Okay, add a green colored gas in this one, add a colorless gas in this one, and a green colored gas in this one. Okay, leave some time. What happens? After some time, the both gases are intermixed. Because of this intermixing, what happens now? Because of this intermixing, the whole gas becomes the green only. What it indicates? The diffusion is taking place between gas also. Like that, not only in the solid, not only in liquid, not only in the gas, also in solid. But according to the property, the diffusion property is very negligible in the solids. Sometimes it takes place with more and more years. Sometimes in less years only. Just take this word only. Okay, when you write and leave it for some days, what happens after some days? If you rub also, the mark of that chalk is stick on the board. Because of that, we can also explains the diffusion takes place in the solids also, not only in the gas, not only in the liquids, in solids also the diffusion will takes place. This is just introduction about this diffusion. Then, yes, I already told that the diffusion is nothing but the spreading of one substance into the another substance by the movement of particle. What happens during the diffusion? The movement of particle will takes place. The particles of one substance is moving into the particles of another substance. That movement, that spreading indicates the diffusion property. Because of diffusion property only, there are some, it means because of diffusion property only, the air which is present us is mixed. Okay, not only the oxygen is present in around us, apart from that the other gases also present in surroundings because of the property, that is diffusion. This is the just a basic definition of your diffusion. Then, is the diffusion takes place only in solids, only liquids, or only in gases? Yes, the diffusion takes place in almost all the matter. Either it is a gas, whether it is a liquid, or whether it is a solid. But the rate of diffusion varies from matter to matter. The solid is minimum, liquid is somewhat more than solid, and in gases the diffusion is more. Why the diffusion is more and how the diffusion takes place? Yes, we think that the diffusion is not takes place in a solid, but the diffusion is also takes place in a solid, but when you compare with the liquids as well as with the gases, the diffusion is very negligible in a solids. Just take one example. When you place a metal on the another metal, okay, leave some years, 100 years or 200 years or some more year. After some years, one metal is start diffusing with another metal, but diffusion takes place. But what about the duration? It takes more than 100 years or more than 200 years. Because of that, we will state that the diffusion is very negligible in solids. And one more example, as I already told, just to take this chalk piece, okay, and write it on the board. Yes, leave some hours or some days. After that, rub it, and it indicates the line which is present on the board indicates the diffusion is also takes place in the solids, not only in the liquids as well as in the gas. Because of that, when you compare with the liquids as well as gas, the diffusion is takes place in a solid, but with a very less extent. This is the first one, that is diffusion in the solid. Like that, the diffusion is also takes place in a liquids also. Diffusion is also takes place in the liquids also. Yes, we already know that the interparticle space is very low in solid, but the interparticle force of attraction is very high in solid. When you compare the solid with the liquids, the interparticle space is somewhat more than solid, but what about the force of attraction? It is somewhat less. Because of this interparticle space, because of this increase in the interparticle space, what happens? If the interparticle space increases, the diffusion also increases. Because of that, in liquids, the diffusion takes place more than solid. Okay, just take one example. I already told. Take up water and add some ink. Yes, what happens is the ink and water be in the separate state? No, both are mixed together because of this diffusion property. What happens when you add the ink to the water? In water also we have some interparticle space. Yes, just take these are water molecule. In water we have some interparticle space. Okay, this interparticle space is occupied by the particles of ink. Yes, but what about in solid? In solid, the interparticle space is very negligible. Okay, the incoming particles also less in the interparticle space. Because of that, we are not able to move the particles in between this space. Because of that, in solid, the diffusion is negligible. But what about in liquid? The interparticle space is more than solid. Because of that, in water also there is an interparticle space. In ink also there is a interparticle space. Because of these interparticle space, the particles of ink is move within the interparticle space of water. Hence, the whole water become colored. Because of that, it indicates the diffusion is taking place. Okay, this is the one more property, sorry, one more example to the in the liquid state. And the next one, that is diffusion in gases. Diffusion in gas. This diffusion in gas. Okay, we know that when you compare with solid, liquid and gas have a more interparticle space. Okay, these are the more interparticle space. And what about the kinetic energy of these particles? The kinetic energy of this particle is very maximum, but in solid the kinetic energy is very negligible. Because of this kinetic energy, the particle in gas can move in a different direction. Okay, and also it has the maximum interparticle space. Because of that, when the interparticle space is more, the diffusion is also more. Hence, the diffusion is more in gases when compared with the liquids as well as in the solid. Okay, just take an example, perfume. Okay, when you spray the perfume, you are just take one example. when a person opens the perfume bottle, but you are far away from that perfume bottle. You are far away from that perfume bottle. When a person opens the perfume bottle, is we are able to recognize that perfume smell? Yes or no? Yes, we can able to recognize from in the far away position only, because of a diffusion only. Okay, if diffusion is not takes place, what happens? If a person opens that perfume bottle, you will not able to recognize. If you want to recognize, then you should come closer to that perfume bottle. But what happens now? Do it in your home. Okay, open any perfume bottle in one room, and you sit in the another room and observe. Is we are able to take that perfume smell? Is we are able to recognize the perfume smell? Yes, we can recognize, because the perfume particles are diffused with air. Okay, the perfume particles are diffused with air. Because of that diffused air is a reason for recognition of that perfume smell. Not only perfume smell, the leakage of LPG. Okay, when LPG is leakage in a far away distance only, we can able to recognize the leakage of that LPG because of the diffusion. The particles of LPG is water mixed with the particles of air, means diffused with the particles of air. Because of that only we are able to recognize the leakage of LPG gas. And just take one more example. Do it in your home. Okay, when you prepare the hot food, okay, we are able to take that smell in a far away distance. Okay, when you have the cold food, we are not able to take that smell in a far away distance. Yes or no? If you want to recognize or if you want to take a smell, you should come closer to that food if it is a colder food. But what happens in a hot food? If hot food means in a far away distance also we can able to recognize what food is prepared in home or not, because of diffusion property. Why it happens in cold food and in the hot food? Think about it, and I will explain. I will give answer in the next class. Okay, this is about the diffusion. Diffusion means the movement of the spreading of one substance into the another substance by the movement of particle. We can call it as the diffusion. The diffusion is also takes place in solid, liquid as well as gas, but the minimum very negligible in solid, minimum in liquid, and maximum in the gases. Okay, the diffusion is also increases because of some property. Okay, diffusion is also increases. Just to take an example, you are preparing the rice. Okay, when you add the rice grains to the water, is diffusion is maximum? No. When you start boiling, what happens? The diffusion is takes place. Because of that only, the grains are converted into rice path. Yes or no? If you not start the boiling, is rice grains are converted to rice path? No. Because of that, the temperature, pressure, or whatever the factors also affect the property, that is diffusion. It is the some information about your diffusion.
3.
Is the next topic, that is the common SI unit of temperature. We all know that temperature, whenever you are having the fever or whenever you are boiling or melting something, we can indicate the temperature in some units. Means we are indicate that properties by using the temperature only. Then the temperature can be measured in a different unit. Okay, the first one, that is Andreas Celsius. He introduced the measuring of the temperature in a degree Celsius scale. After that, the degree Celsius scale is converted to Kelvin scale as a SI unit. Degree Celsius is frequently used, but the SI unit of this temperature is Kelvin only. In your hospital or in your any medical stage, we will refer the degree Celsius only, not in the Kelvin state. But in a scientific state, in scientific reason, we will indicate the temperature in a Kelvin scale, not in the Celsius scale, because the Kelvin is a SI unit, not a degree Celsius. Then why he introduced the Kelvin. The name of scientist is that is Kelvin. Only introduced the Kelvin scale. Why he introduced? Because of that, when you write the degree Celsius, it also present in negative state. But in Kelvin scale, the all units are present in the positive state. Because of that, we will prefer the Kelvin scale instead of this degree Celsius. Means the temperature can be measured in a two unit. One is a degree Celsius, another one is Kelvin. Degree Celsius is a commonly used or frequently used in all field, but Kelvin is a SI unit. It can be used in the scientific field. Then we will able to convert this degree Celsius to Kelvin. Okay, then how to convert this degree Celsius to Kelvin and how to measure, we will study now. Okay. Yes, then we have some formulas to convert degree Celsius to Kelvin and Kelvin to degree Celsius. Okay, temperature. Yes, then the next one, temperature in a Kelvin scale. Okay, if you want to convert temperature in a Kelvin scale, the formula is temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. To the given degree Celsius unit, you should add up 273. It converts to temperature in Kelvin scale. Just take one example, 27 degree Celsius. If you want to convert this 27 degree Celsius to the Kelvin scale, then take a temperature in Kelvin scale is equal to what is the degree Celsius? That is 27 degree Celsius. Add up 273, then it becomes 300 Kelvin. Then 300 Kelvin is also same and 27 degree Celsius is also same, but 27 is present in Celsius scale and 300 is present in Kelvin scale. This is the conversion of the temperature in the Kelvin scale. And now take one more example, that is 0 degree Celsius. Okay, 0 degree Celsius. Convert this 0 degree Celsius to Kelvin. What happens now? Add take a degree Celsius as a 0 degree Celsius and add 273. It becomes 273. You should mention this K. Okay. If you leave this K, then it has a no value. Because of that, you should mention K after the number. Okay. It indicates 273 indicates 0 degree Celsius. Okay. The melting point of the freezing point of water is a 0 degree Celsius, or we can also write it as a 273 Kelvin. Okay, this is the conversion of a temperature in the Kelvin scale. Okay, now yes, we can also possible to convert that Celsius scale into Kelvin scale into Celsius. Now the formula is different than this one. The next one, temperature in degree Celsius scale. Celsius scale. Temperature in Celsius scale. Yes, what you want? You should convert this temperature in a degree Celsius scale. Then take a Kelvin minus 273. Okay. To the given Kelvin scale, you should minus this 273. Okay, when you minus this 273 to the Kelvin scale, it converted to degree Celsius scale. Just take one example. 303 Kelvin. Okay, 303 Kelvin, convert it into the degree Celsius scale. Our formula is temperature in Celsius scale. It is nothing but Kelvin. What is the Kelvin? 303 minus 273. Okay. What is your answer? The answer is yes, in 30 degree Celsius. Okay, 30 degree Celsius is the answer. You should mention degree Celsius. Okay, after the number. If you don't write this degree Celsius, then it has a no value. Okay. 30 degree Celsius. This is the conversion of Kelvin scale to degree Celsius. Now take one more example. Celsius. Okay, what is our formula? Temperature in Celsius scale is equal to K minus 273. Kelvin scale is 253 minus 273. And what is our answer? That is 20 degrees Celsius. The minus charge with the higher number, because of that it should be in the minus sign only, means minus 20 degrees Celsius is a we will denote it in the Kelvin scale as a 253. Now observe, in Celsius scale it is present in the negative scale, but in Kelvin scale it is present in the positive scale. Because of that only, to convert negative into positive we will prefer the Kelvin scale. This is the conversion of temperature from Celsius to Kelvin, Kelvin to Celsius. We have one more scale, that is Fahrenheit scale. Yes, we have one more scale, that is Fahrenheit scale. Okay, Fahrenheit scale usually it is used in higher scientific regions. Okay, in higher scientific regions only we will prefer the Fahrenheit, but in local region we will prefer only Celsius or in the Kelvin scale. Then how you convert this Fahrenheit? How you convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit? Okay, the temperature in Fahrenheit it is 9/5 into degree Celsius. 9/5 into degree Celsius plus 32. This is a formula to convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, then the formula 9/5 into degree Celsius plus 32. Now take up one example, that is convert 30 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Convert 30 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Formula is temperature in Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 into degree Celsius, that is 30 degrees Celsius plus 32. Okay, simplify this. 5 ones are 5 6. Okay, 9 into 6. So what is 9 into 6? That is 50. Yes or no?
4.
Yes, what is 9 into 6? 9 into 6 is 54 plus 32. Add 54 to the 32. It becomes 86 Fahrenheit. Okay, this is the conversion from degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Then 30 degree Celsius is also same as 86 Fahrenheit. This is the conversion. Take one more example. 45 degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Convert 45 degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Then you should use this formula, that is 9/5 into degree Celsius is 45 plus 32. Okay, 5 ones are 5. Yes, 5.
9.
5 nines are. Okay, 9 into 9, 81 plus 32. It indicates 130 Fahrenheit. This is the answer for 45. 45 degrees Celsius can also written in the 113 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, you should write a F after the number. It indicates the scale is present in Fahrenheit. Okay, these are conversion of a different temperature unit. Okay, take us some homework and do it in your home. Okay, then convert these. Convert to
More.
these are your homeworks. Convert these into from degree Celsius to Kelvin. These into from Kelvin to degree Celsius and from degree Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, convert these all into different temperature unit in your home. Okay, this is about today's class. In today's class, we studied that diffusion and the conversion of temperature and units of temperature. Okay, in next class we will study the effect of temperature on your matter. Okay, what happens when the temperature increases or decreases to the your matter, how it convert from one state to another state, what happens in the matter. Okay, to convert, what happens to the particles, we will study it in the next class. Okay, thank you.